Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna be doing a Q&A of the most embarrassing things that have ever happened to me in my life. So I went ahead and I googled a list of embarrassing questions and we're gonna go through those. But of course I'm gonna have this, this video is just gonna be a flop because I'm perfect and I would never ever do anything embarrassing ever. Like, who does that? Not me. Just kidding. I do embarrassing stuff all the time. So I have my phone. I've googled a list. Some of them are crap questions, but I'm just gonna go through them and answer the best ones that I think are most embarrassing because I mean, it's some interesting stuff. Yeah. Alright, so the first question is, what's the last thing you searched on your phone? History. The last thing that I searched last night was what the signs of the end times were. Because I was watching this show on Netflix called Evil, and it is so scary because I grew up Christian and I grew up like just being banged in like my parents' style. So I have a mom and a stepdad and a dad and a stepmom, so let's not get it twisted. My mom and my stepdad were like, they would just bang in the end times, like it's the end times, like my whole life. Like as a kid, who wants to grow up just like worried about the end times? You're not worried about freaking school, sports, college. That was my parents' thing. They weren't focused on getting me into college. They were focused on scaring me about the end times. Like that's all in like going to church and stuff. No sports, no encouragement to go to college, nothing like that. So to me, that was my childhood. So anyways, I kind of went my own path and I'm a believer of God. I love God and I feel like He guides me and I feel like He has a path for me and He's always wanting what's best for me. However, I don't go to church I don't go to church every week. I just feel like I'm just not a very religious person, period. Whether it's church, whether it's like take my mom or like say we'll just family member, for example. I'm not going to, if I don't like you as a person, I'm not gonna perform and do the duties of, so say this is an example, say you're my sister, this is an example. If you are my sister and you are not a good person and you've hurt me a lot in my life, like why would I continue to just do these actions in this role? Like I don't feel that way about you, so why am I gonna... This is getting a little deep. The sister thing was just an example. Just an example. There is somebody in my family though that I've decided to, because why would I spend my valuable time that I could be being productive, just like playing a role for you? Like this is my life and I've decided that it's more beneficial to not have you in it. And then it just so happens that you were born into my family, but that doesn't mean I have to maintain that with you, you know? So anyways, so I did look up, there's this show on Netflix called Evil. It does talk a lot about a bunch of different like stuff like in the spiritual realm and religion and all that. So it was just like a little creepy to me and made me like scared. So I was like, with everything going on, the pandemic, the fires, I live in California, the fires, the smoke, everything, I was like, oh god, what are the signs of the end times? But anyways, that's a different discussion for another day, if we have another day. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so that was question number 1. How exciting. Question number 2. If you had to choose between going naked or having your thoughts appear in a thought bubble above your head for everyone to read, which would you choose? I would definitely choose, I love to be naked, but you don't want everybody to see that. I mean, it's fun to be naked. I mean, but you don't want the creepy old man saying that. That's disgusting and creepy. But even besides that, I would choose having my thought bubbles above my head because I feel like I just say what I'm thinking anyways most of the time, and it gets me into a lot. Just hit my foot. I say what I'm thinking anyways, and it gets me into trouble, so might as well just have a little thought bubble up there and just, this is what I'm thinking. You know? That'd probably end up being really inconvenient at times, but I think that'd just be a little more interesting. Have you ever tasted a booger? Of course I have. Like, honestly, who hasn't? I mean, we've all been 10 years old. Have you ever peed in the pool? This is not that embarrassing to me. These are not that embarrassing. Yes, I've peed in the pool. Like I said, we've all been 5, we've all been 6 years old. Have you ever farted in an elevator? Not that I can remember, but I do fart a lot of other places. What are some of the things you think about when sitting on the toilet? I think about, how am I going to survive this? How beautiful life will be when I'm off the toilet, because sometimes that should be painful. Have you ever practiced kissing in a mirror? I wouldn't say practice, but yes, I have kissed in the mirror. Just because I'm weird. Have you ever walked into a wall? Yes, I have walked into a wall. The most recent story though, walking into something, is I was getting out of my car going to work, and one of to me, I'm not one of these obsessed girls that has a crush on everybody, but there was this really good looking coworker walking by, and I got out of my car and I waved to him, and I'm walking and I run into the street pole, I'm I'm good. But he wasn't even looking anymore because he knew that was really embarrassing, so he was just gonna look away. Anyways, do you pick your nose? Currently, no. Have you ever peed yourself? Honestly, I'm gonna be dead ass. I have peed myself when I was younger, but recently I thought there was something wrong with my bladder because I went somewhere, I was drinking liquids, and then I came home. I did have to pee, but my bladder couldn't hold it in, so I had dribbled a little bit of pee. Do you ever talk to yourself in the mirror? I'm talking to myself in the mirror right now because, I mean, it's like a lens, right? Do you talk in your sleep? Yes, I do talk in my sleep. Anywhere I've ever slept over, the person was like, you talk in your sleep. What color underwear are you wearing? I think they're blue. They're baby blue. What was the last thing you texted? To be honest, the last thing I texted was stop to a telemarketer. The last thing I texted to a person was, how did you sleep? How often do you wash your undergarments? Underwear, every single time I use them, obviously. Sometimes I don't even go throughout the day without changing my underwear because, you know, your ass be sweating sometimes and you gotta change that. Bra, I wear a couple days. I'd say I wear probably 3 times, maybe 4 times, and then I wash it, which might change up. I don't know, I should be better at that. But would you trade your sibling in for $1 million? Honestly, my family is a little broken and psychotic, so I would trade a sibling. I'd have to make that choice on who, but I would definitely trade a sibling for $1 million. And it'd just be like I never knew them, because I have felt that way a few times in my life about a certain sibling. So, what is your biggest pet peeve? I would say it has to be either chewing. I feel like that's the most common one. When somebody's just chewing nasty. Like, to me, if I'm not looking at you and you're eating and it sounds like a dog is eating, then that's an issue. You should really work on that. That's disgusting. And then I go through this whole thought process of did your parents just never hey, chew with your mouth closed? Like my parents did. Chew with your mouth closed. And then we'd be we would chew with our mouth closed. And then also another one, picking at the fingers. Just when you're with somebody, can you stop picking at your finger? If you were allowed to marry more than one person, would you? And who would you choose to? Well, I don't know who I would choose to marry, but if I could marry more than one person, I used to joke about, I would love, I just feel like it'd be a perfect mixture if I just married 2 gay guys. They were gay and we just all had fun together. If you lost 1 day of your life every time you said a swear word, would you try not to do it? I would never swear again. Are you kidding me? It's definitely not worth a whole day of my life. Look at that. Alrighty, next question. Do you have bad foot odor? I used to not. My feet used to never ever stink, but now I do a lot of running around for work, and I will either wear flats with socks, or I will wear tennis shoes with socks, obviously no-show socks. And like lately, I think it's because I work such long hours and I'm just running around sweating all day that yes, now I have foot odor. But I do spray it with like, it's like I got it off Amazon. It's like an essential oil spray that you spray in your shoe. Look it up if you have that issue. It's amazing, and you can kind of smell it, like, because to me, I spray myself with perfume, and then I have the essential oils. And then my laundry smells good. I just feel like I smell good from head to toe. So I do have bad foot odor, but I control it. Do you have any silly nicknames? Yes, probably my most embarrassing one is Pinky. Growing up, my family called me Pinky. I'm just from Aladdin. I don't know. The real ones will know. If you know, you know. But Asiago was spying outside of the castle, and he dressed up like a flamingo. And one of the other flamingos was staring at him. And Asiago was like, "What are you looking at, Pinky?" And then that's my family used to say that to me because I was a baby. I couldn't talk. I would just stare. Also, I would say Danny Boo or Danny Boolicious. My best friend from junior high school gave me that. Shout out to T Boo Boo. What app on your phone do you waste the most time on? Unfortunately, it's Instagram. I had it deleted for a long time, and I love having no social media, but sometimes it's just impossible. I have to have Instagram right now because there's like, for school, we have a group chat on there. So definitely Instagram. I hate you, Instagram. Do you dance when you're by yourself? 100% yes. I dance so much when I'm by myself. I don't know, I just feel like it's a good workout and it gets all my energy out, whether it's negative or positive. Like, it's a release for me. So I put on some music and I just dance, whether I'm naked, getting in the shower. I'm kidding, I'm not like completely naked. I have like, whether I'm getting in my shower, I usually just like take off my shirt, have a sports bra, like bike shorts on or something, but I dance at that time. Or if I'm drinking wine or beer, I dance in my kitchen a lot. What is something you've done to try to be cooler? Honestly, everything I do is me trying to be cooler. No, I'm just kidding. When was the last time you brushed your teeth? Probably a couple hours ago. Have you ever used self-tanner? I use self-tanner constantly. What do your favorite pajamas look like? I wear bike shorts and an oversized t-shirt. Have you ever got caught doing something you shouldn't? I always get caught doing stuff I shouldn't. And that's like one of my life lessons right now. I actually want to get it tattooed, but they say like that quote, like a moth to the flame. I feel like that defines me so much. Like, I love to do things that like, they're not that big of a deal. Like a moth being attracted to something pretty like the light, it's not that big of a deal, but it just ends up like ruining you. Like, I don't know, that's my experience. I do stuff I'm not supposed to do all the time, I guess, apparently. What's the worst date you've ever been on? Honestly, I've walked out of a date before. Back in the day, probably about a year ago, I would be on Bumble sometimes. Bumble is trash. I mean, sometimes you meet good people, but holy, it's a huge investment, like, to meet somebody decent, right? You have to meet with 100 shitheads before you meet anybody decent. So there was this guy who was fine in his pictures, right? Like, and I was shocked he was interested in me. He was fine, like, green eyes, oh, so beautiful. And then we met up one night in Oakland, and he actually Ubered from like Half Moon Bay or wherever he lived. It was like somewhere. And I got there, and the first thing I noticed, this kid does not look like his pictures at all. But I'm a nice person, so I don't care. I'm gonna get to know who you are. Sorry, there's somebody loud driving out there. Get to know you as a person. And I could just, like, I don't know, he was being kind of like an asshole. I don't know if he was like on drugs, because I know he does do drugs and stuff, which is no bueno. It's like, that's not, like, to me, I just want to be with somebody who's focused, you know. Nothing wrong if you do drugs, whatever, that's you. I'm not judging you, but my hubby is gonna be focused and present. But anyways, yeah, I mean, it was just stupid. He was fine, so I wanted to meet up with him. And I ended up actually, because he was acting so strange, he went up to go get sauce or something, and I ran out of the restaurant. Like, after he paid for all the food, it was pretty expensive too. We had sat down for maybe 10 minutes. I like just left. I couldn't. Have you ever had a crush on a boyfriend's, or have you ever had a crush on a friend's boyfriend or girlfriend? No. Would you rather go for a month without washing your hair or go for a day without wearing a bra? Go for a day without wearing a bra, duh. Have you ever had a crush on a person at least 10 years older than you? I have dated people who are close to 10 years older than me, but I don't think quite 10 years. What size is your bra? I am a 34C, but sometimes, yeah. So I'm a 34C. Do you wear tighty whities or granny panties? I wear lace cheeksters, which sometimes do feel like granny panties. So yeah, I am not like a huge thong girl unless I have to wear a thong. Do you ever admire yourself in the mirror? Not especially. Sometimes I like, if I get ready actually and like look cute, then I do, but it's all of illusion, because whatever. If you could marry any celebrity, who would it be? It would definitely be Zac Efron. What hairstyle have you always wanted but never been willing to try? Holy smokes, this is far. It would be cool to try a pixie cut. It would be cool to try a pixie cut because that would be super low maintenance, or just like a really short cut. Or like a lot of colors, but that damages your hair a lot. Honestly, I have naturally curly hair, so honestly, this is kind of weird, but I would love to just be able to wear my hair curly and feel good about it, but I never have. I've always straightened my hair. If you could change one thing about your body, what would it be? Well, probably like, I don't know. I mean, I'll probably end up getting a boob job, but who was your first kiss? Do you like it? Oh my god, I can't even remember my first kiss, to be honest. How many kids do you want to have in the future? I would say, I don't know, it really just depends, like, on how my life, it's kind of like really depends on how my life goes, who I'm married to, what path I take as far as career. I always thought it's kind of cool to have one kid, because then you can just spoil the heck out of one kid and totally focus on them. But then, I don't know, then you don't have a lot of kids to take care of you when you're older, and they don't have companions. So, I don't know, probably like 3 kids, to be honest, but I love the idea of 1 kid. Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. Possibly embarrassing questions about myself. They honestly, I was just going off of a Google. I didn't like pre-look at it or anything. They weren't that embarrassing. And then the embarrassing ones were a little offensive, so I couldn't read them. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. The more you interact with my channel, the better for me and where I'm trying to be. So if you could go ahead and do me that favor, and I would greatly appreciate that. So yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Better content coming. This was a last minute video, but I look forward to next time.